Good morning. Our hymn today is entitled, Burdens Are Lifted at Calvary. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. Today's featured hymn was written in 1952 by one of our contemporary songwriters, John M. Moore, currently a Baptist pastor and evangelist in Toronto, Canada. The hymn was prompted by an experience that Dr. Moore had while serving as the superintendent of the Seamen's Chapel in Glasgow. And he says, I wrote Burdens Are Lifted at Calvary after a most interesting experience. The company's secretary of a large shipping firm telephoned the Seamen's Chapel and requested that I visit a young merchant seaman who was lying critically ill in a Glasgow hospital. After getting permission from the nursing sister, I went in to visit the young sailor. I talked for a few minutes and then put my hand in my case for a tract, not knowing which one I would be pulling out. It happened to be a tract based on Pilgrim's Progress, with a color reproduction of pilgrims coming to the cross with a great burden on their back. I showed the young seaman this picture and told him the story in brief, adding that Pilgrim's experience had been my experience too. I explained that when I came to the cross of Christ, my burden rolled away and my sense of sin and guilt before God was removed. He nodded his head when I asked him, do you feel a burden on your back today? We prayed together, and never shall I forget the smile of peace and assurance that lit up his face when he said that his burden was lifted. Later that night, sitting by the fireside with paper and pen, I could not get the thought out of my mind. His burden is lifted. I started writing, but never for a moment did I imagine that this little hymn would become a favorite throughout the whole world. Since that time, I hear of people all over the world who are being blessed and saved through the singing of this hymn. Burdens are lifted at Calvary. Thank you for letting me share this hymn with you today, and please come back next Thursday for another hymn. If you're on Facebook, please share it with your friends and follow. If you're seeing this on YouTube, please subscribe.